All right, welcome to our interview series where we chat with people leaders to learn a bit about what they're working on, spotlight exciting work happening in the broader people community, and also share some learnings. And today, I have the real pleasure to speak with Tracy Kasin, the VP of People Operations and Talent at Hint. Not gonna lie, I am so excited about this. Tracy is a real rock star. We've had the chance to connect, and Tracy, I'm just such a big fan of your leadership, but also something that like really stands out is like how much you care about the team at Hint, and that really resonates with me. And so, Tracy, welcome to the chat.
Thank you, Brian. So happy to be here.
Yeah, so I guess just to dive right in and to level set, like how many folks are at Hint? How big is the people team, and how is it all structured?
Great. Yeah. So we are about 200 employees right now and growing week over week. The people's team is relatively slim, but we are robust. So I have it set up where we've got our kind of HR, people support, and then our talent acquisition. So I've got two people on the talent acquisition team, and we will have three people on the people support team, I guess, including myself, and each of those two people filtering up to me. So a good enough to support the 200 people here at Hint.
Gotcha. Cool. And I can imagine like still y'all have your hands full with, all that's been thrown around over the past, couple of years now, it feels like, well, it actually is.
It has.
But I guess like, looking back or looking at the present, like what are some programs that you are particularly proud about, whether it's for your people team or yourself? Like, I'd love to learn a little about kind of like, what are some things that y'all are working on that you're particularly proud about?
Definitely. I would say our onboarding process is something that I feel really proud that we've been able to build year over year. When I first started, it was a one or two emails, here's some paperwork, get it filled out.
Mhm.
You'll get an email from the HRIS system and like, good luck. So I would say prior to COVID, we certainly had a good, quick 1 hour meeting with new hires. For anybody working at corporate, we sent them an Uber certificate because we really wanted to make their first day to be as stress-free as possible. And of course, there was the welcome lunch, et cetera, et cetera. But we were all in person then. And our salespeople also had their team. So it was a little bit different. Then COVID hit. And we really had to rethink that for the most part for our corporate folks because we were still hiring so much. So over the past 2 years, we really have expanded that onboarding or orientation piece of it to be, we still do the typical onboarding. This is Hint, this is who we are, this is how you get your benefits, et cetera. But now we do a 30, 60, 90-day check-in. Hey, did you get your benefits card? Are you okay with your gas card? And have you met with your team? But then also we still tried to kind of repivot. And so rather than having a lunch your first day, you get an Uber Eats. Some teams have been doing a great job and they'll actually send out Uber Eats to everybody and they'll have a team get to know you lunch. So that is something we really have honed in on over the past couple of years. And we have lost people in the past couple of years. And the feedback has been, hey, I still remember that first week that I was here and how supportive and welcomed I felt at Hint. So I would say the orientation onboarding process, we're still looking to how to make it better. But that's what I'm mostly proud of.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. I've gone through a number of terrible onboardings, so I feel like that almost sounds like the dream picture. Kind of having lunch sorted out for you, as well as kind of getting to meet your other team members. That sounds really great. And I guess as you were like rolling that out or implementing it or designing it in the first place, like now that have introduced it, like have there been any like things that ended up being smoother in the rollout or maybe even more challenging that you didn't anticipate kind of along the way?
Yeah, I guess the smoother piece of it was that the new hires just, when you're starting something during COVID or starting a job during COVID, it's tough because you're getting to know a new team, you're getting to know a new job and not feeling connected. So by doing so, we were able to kind of get that fear off of that new hires kind of plate
Mm.
to help them kind of enter smoother into Hint.
Yeah.
Some of the things that didn't go so well is really mainly having to do with our sales team, because the expectation is
Mm.
you're going to jump in and hit the ground running. And
Yeah.
so how we can manage that in a different perspective, I think that's where we need to do more work on. And earlier on today, I spoke with my team, and they've got some great ideas of how can we remanage those expectations for that particular hiring manager, that we understand you want this person in the seat, but please let us do this because it's going to help them do better at their job sooner.
Mm. Very cool. And I guess like looking ahead, I mean, like what are you most excited about? Are there any particular kind of programs or initiatives or things that you're looking ahead to that gets you amped up?
Absolutely. So just last week, I was given the green light to implement a platform called Culture Amp.
Hmm.
And that goes into essentially a surveying platform. And I am very, very excited to have that, because so much of what I want to do at Hint, it's not about what I want to do. It's about hearing from the employees and how we're doing, not only from a high level company standpoint, but into teams, into individuals. So I don't know what the future has in store for us, but I'm hoping to be able to launch that in the next few weeks, get the feedback, and then announce that in our April town hall, and even more so putting those action plans into place so we can really continue to make Hint the best place to work.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I feel like almost with anything, like the first step toward progress is just getting visibility on things. I mean, like benefited so much from, I mean, like Culture Amps, just kind of like reports and surveys that they've kind of created and benchmarking data. It's been really amazing to kind of like have that as a resource. And I'm excited for y'all and kind of in terms of like what you're going to learn and uncover the
Me
engagement
too.
surveys that you've been internally. And I guess to close out, I mean, like, what are some things that you think others can learn from, like whether it's from part of your personal journey or kind of your work at Hint? I mean, like, what would be something that you'd love to, I guess, leave with viewers in terms of kind of things that they might be able to learn from?
Yeah, I would say this question, for me, would be more targeted to a younger company starting out, or a new HR professional starting at a company that maybe doesn't have a lot of the platforms in place. Something that I wish I had learned is the data is important, because the data you have will help you make better and more informed decisions, and oftentimes will most likely help you get buy-in from leadership on an initiative. So to do that, I feel it's best to invest in your HR platforms. It's your HRIS, it's your applicant tracking system, something like Culture Amp as well. And there are plenty of platforms that are very affordable for younger companies or for new HR leaders who don't have much of a budget. But I feel like if I had known that sooner in my career, as well as sooner in some roles, I could have been more impactful much faster.
That's amazing. I feel like there's so many, up and coming kind of like HR leaders that are really trying to make it work as like a solo individual at a growing startup. So I imagine that piece will really be helpful for them. Well, thank
Definitely.
you, Tracy. This has been so amazing. Like, thank you so much for being generous with your time, with your insights. And I'm so excited to stay in touch.
Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.